Hello and welcome to the course project series of videos. The project is laid out in a fashion that I'll talk about in terms of how it helps you build toward your final product. Today's topic is presentations, and what's the goal today? I want you to identify the properties that create an effective and the flip side, an ineffective presentation, and I want you to be able to critically analyze a fellow student's presentation as well. So before I get into the actual topic of presentations, I want to talk about the project briefly here. So what is this project? It is a culminating project. So a culminating project with milestones. And what that means with milestones is that I'm taking this large project and I've broken it into components for you. So as you finish each component, it builds toward a final product. Okay? The stages that we're looking at here, I'm starting with presentations because it's something that you can look at without starting too much of the project. All right, so I want you to be able to do an effective presentation by the end of this project. We're going to talk about being able to research a topic. Research a topic. I want you to be able to develop a thesis, which is very, very important. A specific lesson on developing a thesis. I want you to be able to collect raw data. All right, so those are all very important, especially for those that are looking at the social sciences. This project is geared toward or structured upon social sciences. So I've done this in conjunction with Man and Society or any of your anthropology, psychology, sociology courses. So the project follows that structure. So anyone that's going into a humanities course or an ends in an ology course at the university or college level, this is what the expectation will be in that year at post-secondary. So I'm giving you kind of a framework, a structure that they'll expect you to be able to go through on your own. Okay, so they will be wanting you to do a presentation. They want you to be able to research and develop a thesis on your own. You have to know how to collect raw data. And then when the math really starts coming into play, these first four topics are really, they are math related, they fit in the course, but they're not really your traditional math. Finally, we get to analyzing raw data, which would involve sorting, graphing, so you're arranging it so that the viewer can look at it and say, oh yeah, that makes sense. Sorting, graphing, statistics. You're going to be using your skills that are learned in class. I want you to incorporate probability. So when you're analyzing that raw data, these four components are a focus as well. So it's not uncommon in a humanities course to get or collect raw data from a survey or be given raw data and being able to perform this. So remember, this whole project is geared for your success for those that are taking those types of courses. So please keep that in mind when you're going through this. So after you analyze the raw data, I want a critical analysis. So you'll be able to then reflect on the results, make conclusions, recommendations, that sort of stuff. And then finally the final presentation, which we're going to work on those skills right away. So that's kind of what the overall project is going to be. And you're going to choose a topic that's interesting to you. And we're going to talk about that in the next series of videos here. Okay? So this is all based on the topic of interest. So I'm not going to give you a topic. And we're going to talk about how do you pick this topic of interest a little later on. All right, so back to today's topic or goal, and that's presentations. And presentations are so important, and I can't stress this enough. So why are presentation skills important? Well, the first reason is high school ISUs. You do not realize how much you live and die with your presentation if you start off with a very poor presentation. Because 9 times out of 10, the teacher is starting to gloss over already thinking, oh my goodness, this is terrible. All right, your marks, you can have what we would call maybe a mediocre ISU, but if you deliver a presentation with high energy and very effectively, you can take a mediocre project and make it fantastic, because that oral presentation, you'd be surprised how many times you can win people over. So with the high school ISUs, your focus is, your marks come from a dynamic presentation. Okay? Marks from a dynamic presentation. All right? If you are boring, if you are dry, if the audience is not interested, then you know your mark is not going to be destined to what you want it to be. So we're going to talk about, hey, how can I make a dynamic presentation? How can I win people over in my presentation? So that's the first reason I want to focus on this, is because you're going to have a couple of ISUs in your English and biology and sociology and other courses. So it's very important to go through that. And this is a skill that falls through the cracks. It's not really in any of the courses that we're specifically teaching. So it's very important. It's a huge and very, very important skill for you to have, because later on, for those that are going to go into post-secondary, if you're going to go into humanities, all your stuff comes from research. And if you want to get more research money to pursue further projects, you have to do presentations. So very, very important for success in courses. So I mean, the first two, when we're talking about high school, university, college, it really boils down to that, doesn't it? It's success in courses. And if you can do an effective presentation, if you can do a dynamic presentation, then you have little worries on that end of it, and you can make up for some deficiencies in a project, honestly, because you become a salesman. So it's really a salesman's skills here, and that's what we're looking at. So salesman skills. Some quotations around that. Fix up that. What happened there off the start. Salesman skills. All right. If you're a little bit nervous about presenting, I'm providing some alternate presentations for you this year, so it's something though that you do have to address. And finally, employability. Like I said, if you are trying to get research grants, they're not going to give you money just by sending an email. You have to actually do a presentation for the people that you're trying to get the money from, convince them that the money is going to be well spent. So you need to do this presentation in order to get research grants. Okay? This may be your job. Maybe your job. If you end up in human resources and you need to do training sessions, okay, you might be doing presentations all the time. If you're going to do presentations all the time, you don't want to be known as, oh my God, it's that person again. Do I have to listen to them go on? Okay, you want to make sure that you're effective in your presentation. You want to make sure that you're good with your job. So this may be your job. You may be doing presentations. You may be doing, you may be teaching. Okay, whether it's at high school, university, college, and the list goes on and on. Presentation skills are so important, and it makes quite a difference between someone who's behind the scenes and someone who's at the front of what you're in your particular field. So, so that's going to be our focus in this first segment. Okay, so what's involved? Here's the project assignment number 1. So like I said, I've broken this project into about 9 milestones or separate sections, and they're all together. They're going to come and feed into each other. I started with the presentation as the first assignment because it gives you something to think about. It's something you didn't have to do any research for. Okay, you're going to start off, and you can do this at any point in time in the project. So this is a good one to start with. So what do I want for this first presentation to be completed? First thing I want you to do is I want you to watch the 2 presentation videos on the website. So if you look down, there is 2 websites, and I want you to make some jot notes about what you like and what you didn't like about the presentation. And I believe the one is specifically, this makes a terrible presentation. So please make sure you jot notes. All you're doing is just point forming it. You can do it on your notes here, and just pointing at some of the stuff you didn't like in the presentation, or what made you want to poke your eyes out. All right, that's really what it comes down to. So that's step 1, watch the 2 videos. Then, written submission. Keep it simple, so you're just going to title it Project Assignment Number 1 with your name. I don't need a cover page for this. I want you to list at least 10 things that you don't want to see in a presentation. Okay, and that should all come from your jot notes. All right, so there should have been 10 things that you very much disliked and don't want to see in a presentation. So I want to see those, and it's list. And remember in grade 9 we talked about what list means, just point form. Okay, so that's how this assignment can start off. It's based on those videos, so I just want you to point form 10 things you do not want to see in a presentation or want to make you run out of the presentation screen. 3, I want you to pick 2 items on your list. So from those 10 items, just pick 2. And I want you to elaborate a little bit on it, okay? I want you to do a 1 to 2 paragraph explanation, okay, or paragraph for each. I'm not going to sit there counting words on you, as to why they're a terrible thing to do in a presentation. Why do they make you want to tune out that presentation? Okay, so you're picking any 2 of the 10, and I just want you to talk about it. What for you is the worst thing for you on those 2 things? So pick the 2 things that really annoy you the most. 4. Then I want you to flip it around and look at those 10 things, and I want you to say, if these are 10 things I don't want to do, what are 5 things I want to do? Okay, this is 5 things I want to do in a presentation. Okay, so this is going to be the first thing on the assignment. You're going to give me 10 point form things. Then I'm going to get 2 paragraphs from you, one on a specific thing you don't like. Now you're going to point form again. Give me 5 things that you would focus on or would make a dynamic presentation that you think are very, very important. All right, so these are 5 things that you think need to be done in a presentation. Next, I want you to create a rubric. And if you look on my website, there's a rich text file. The blank is there. You can open it in Word, WordPerfect, Home Office, whatever program you want. And you just need to fill in the rubric. So you are creating a rubric, and I've got it all started for you. And you're just going to put the 5 skills down the side and then fill out the rest of the rubric. And this is a rubric that a person can use to assess a presentation based on those 5 skills. All right, so this is going to be a separate page, stapled in the project or handed in the report. Finally, you are going to create a 3 to 5 minute video, so keep it short. I'm not looking for a long, drawn-out presentation. 3 to 5 minute video presentation of you on any topic. So just pick any topic, your pet, your mother, best friend, your favorite color. It doesn't matter to me the topic. And what we want to do is, I want you to create this 3 to 5 minute video, and we can reflect on where you need to improve in your presentation skills. So this is a pure, this is going to help you out and become a better presenter in the long run. Finally, you're going to have 2 classmates use your rubric to assess your presentation. So that means that I'm going to get a blank copy for me. So up here, I get 1 blank copy in the presentation for me to use because I'm going to assess your presentation. And then you're going to have 2 friends use your rubric and assess your presentation. And that's all going to get handed in. All right. The video, you can either post it on a private YouTube or you can put it on a jump drive and copy it. I'll put a share file on the network and you can copy it there. Video cameras, you can rent them out or sign them out at the library, so you do have access. Everyone has that, or your most smartphones will do that as well for you. So that is your task, okay? So just to sum it up, I need a list of 10 things you don't want to do. Pick 2 of them, write a paragraph on each on why they are things that you should not do. I want you to list 5 things that are the most important in your opinion for a presentation. You're going to create a rubric using those 5 skills. You're going to create a 3 to 5 minute video presentation, okay, of you and on any topic. So you pick whatever topic you want. You're going to have 2 of the classmates in here, and they are going to assess it using your rubric. And that's all going to be handed in. Okay. If there's any clarification needed, those are the points that I want handed in. It doesn't take as long as you think. The longest part will probably be creating the 3 to 5 minute video, getting that set up. If you need help getting that figured out, you can come talk to me and we'll sort that out. So anyway, good luck with the first one. If you have any questions, please let me know.